Welcome to the broadcast for this Friday, April 13th. My name is Jonathan Hawthorne, and we'll be talking about the Clinton presidency in depth this evening. First, we'll be talking about domestic affairs, Monica Lewinsky, everything from the campaign finance reform to healthcare reform. We'll also be touching on topics from the Middle East to Rwanda, Somalia, and what Clinton may or may not have done to help in those situations. And we'll also be talking about the very controversial 2000 election. And also on this Friday evening, we'll be talking about Monica Lewinsky and the woman behind the White House intern. We hope you'll join us for more.
Are you sitting alone at home, bored with nothing to do, nothing to watch? Well now, released just recently on Blu-ray and DVD is documentary Bowling for Columbine, which was originally released in 2002 and is a documentary based on the 1999 Columbine high school shooting. And it is now only 2 payments of $8.99, and shipping and handling is not included. Buy it now.
Thank you so much, and welcome back. Next, we'll kick it over to White House correspondent Rachel Wagner, who will talk about the Clinton presidency and how the Clintons stormed onto the scene.
Okay, thanks, Jonathan. Now let's start at the beginning of Clinton's administration. It's the 1992 election, and the Republicans chose to run George H.W. Bush for a second term with his Vice President J. Danforth Quayle. He was more focused on the past and emphasized family values, but people were concerned with the economy as it was slumping at the time, which was why they liked Clinton better, because he focused on stimulating the economy, reforming the welfare system, and overhauling the nation's healthcare systems. So in the end, Clinton ended up winning, and he was very successful in the beginning at stimulating the economy, which was his main goal. He was also able to change his cabinet and Congress to include many more ethnic minorities and to include women, because he wanted the government to look like America. Back to you, Jonathan.
Thank you so much to our chief political correspondent out there at the White House. That was Rachel Wagner again with the report. Coming up next, we'll have a commercial break, and when we return, we will have a special report from Nicole Odell on the foreign affair policies at the time of Clinton.
I've just been sitting here with my gun, and I'm just worried that I'm going to use it and fire it at someone, or accidentally hit someone. What should I do? I know that there are many anti-gun laws that have been passed, but I just don't know what to do. Help! Help!
Trade your guns for cash! Call 1-800-BAD-GUNS now.
Well, looks like if I trade this gun, I'll still be able to have these guns.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now we will talk about problems abroad during Clinton's presidency. So first, in 1993, he sent U.S. troops to a peacekeeping mission in Somalia. And even though Clinton was popular internationally, he was unpopular at the same time because he didn't follow through with his decisions. So in 1994, a year later, he withdrew the American units without even accomplishing a clearly defined goal. And then in 1995, the U.S. stood aside when a catastrophic ethnic violence broke out in Central Africa and Rwanda, resulting in the death of 500,000 people. 2 years later, NATO expanded to include Poland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic, and its continued presence in Bosnia after the 1995 ethnic conflict in Bosnia, where U.S. troops stayed to keep peace. Then in 1999, the U.S. had an air war with Serbia. The Serbian president, Slobodan Milosevic, unleashed a new round of ethnic cleansing against Albanians in the province of Kosovo. Bombing failed to stop the ethnic terror, but allowed NATO to keep peacekeeping force in Kosovo. Then there was conflict in the Middle East. There was a meeting with the White House between Israeli Premier Yitzhak Rabin and Palestine Liberation Organization leader Yasser Arafat. They agreed on self-rule for Palestinians within Israel. However, 2 years later, Rabin was assassinated, and in 2004, Arafat died. Palestinian state is still unrealized.
Oh, sorry, Los Alamos, you caught me at a bad time. So, during Clinton's presidency, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, where he was a big advocate on ending the ban of gays and lesbians serving in the armed forces. So he effectively passed the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which was if you did not tell anyone that you were gay or lesbian, no one was going to ask, and you could still serve in the military without receiving official recognition. He also passed the Deficit Reduction Bill, which increased taxes and entitlement programs and placed limits on Medicare programs. It also reduced the deficit to its lowest point in more than a decade. Also, if you may have known James Brady, who was the wounded, disabled aide to President Ronald Reagan in 1981. So Congress passed in 1993 a bill that passed, that put on a gun control law, and it helped for the gun control in America at the time. In 1994, Congress passed a $30 billion anti-crime bill, which was to prevent several types of assault weapons. Also in 1990, there was the Oklahoma explosion in 1995, where a huge explosion hurt a federal office building, leaving 168 dead at the time. Also, the Columbine shooting in Littletown, Colorado, left 12 students and a teacher dead, and it rattled our small country. It hurt the lives of many, and many saw this as the first real domestic problem here at home in what would soon to be a long string of terrorism attacks. Thank you. Now we're going to go for a little jaywalk across the street and talk to this fine young couple about the Clinton administration. Oh, hi, what's your name? What's your name?
Hi, it's Katie.
Oh, you guys look like a fine young couple. It's so nice to see fine young couples on the street. What do you know about the Clinton administration?
Pretty much nothing.
Well, tell me a little bit about Monica Lewinsky. What is the first word that comes to mind?
Impeachment.
Yeah. So he slept with her in the White House. Well, how does that make you feel?
I feel dishonored, and he doesn't seem like a loyal president.
Indifferent.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you guys last a while.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back to our viewers at home and abroad. We'll next begin with the Monica Lewinsky scandal, and I'm just getting word here that Bill Clinton is over in the West Wing right now getting ready to address members of the media about this important scandal that could rock his presidency. Let's go to our senior White House correspondent over at the White House. Thank you. Fellow Americans, I have a very important message for you this evening.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never. These allegations are false, and I need to go back to work for the American people. Thank you.
And we thank Bill Clinton for his address over there in the West Wing. And now we're going to go over to Barbara Walters, where she has a very exclusive interview with someone who is very important at the time, and you may be able to guess her name, but we'll let you take a peek for yourself. Over to her.
Hi, I'm Barbara Walters, and tonight I have an exclusive interview with Miss Monica Lewinsky, the White House intern who entered into a sexual affair with Mr. President Bill Clinton. Here she is now.
Hi.
So, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So, let's get started with the interview. I understand that you are able to speak about whatever.
Yeah, I have a few restrictions, but I'm more or less free.
Okay. So, what do you think of yourself?
I think I'm really kind and loving and really smart, and I have such an energy.
So is this what you think President Clinton saw in you?
Clinton definitely loved my energy, and I could just like light up a room when I walked in, and I'm really kind and caring, and my energy's just great.
So what do you think Hillary Clinton would have felt about this?
She would have been dismayed. Like, personally, I didn't really think of her when it was going on. It was just me and him, and I was just so in awe of him. So I couldn't really think of her. It was just a relationship between me and him.
And what about the country? Did you ever think about how it would affect the country or Bill Clinton himself?
I didn't think of it at the time, but now I look back and I regret some of it, but I was just so in the moment, and it was just about me and him and our relationship, and it was just something so special.
Okay. Well, is there anything you would like to say to the country?
I would like to apologize to my friends and family. I've already done it privately, but I'd like to publicly go and apologize for my actions. I wasn't thinking of how it would affect the country.
Well, that's all for tonight. Thanks for being with us.
No, thank you. It was a great opportunity.
And that's our broadcast for this Friday, April 13th. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you right back here tomorrow evening. Good night.